I'm Cindy Cinema, and I'm with Behind the Badge Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Law Enforcement Family Network Flashlight Series. Today we're going to hear again from our good friend Rebecca Grondel. Rebecca understands what it means to be a law enforcement officer and a law enforcement officer's family. And today she's going to talk to us about the circle of control. It's a really good perspective to understand what we can control and what we can't. And some of that information, some of that awareness, some of that perspective helps us to reduce the stress and form stronger connections. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Sometimes in times of uncertainty, like we're living with COVID and with the social climate, with the law enforcement opinions, the way society is looking at law enforcement, especially with the political pieces that are happening in our state, even within the cities, looking to defund departments, and the impact that that would have, not just on our communities, but on our officers and on their families, and just what that feels like, having that diverse forms of support or non-support that we haven't experienced before. What we search for as humans is a sense of control of something, because we feel like life is out of control. We don't have our schools, we don't have access to our people. People who we thought we were protecting don't want us. People who we thought were fighting for us we're wondering where they're at right now and supporting what we're doing professionally. It's a really kind of almost a foreign place to be. So what we do as humans is we try to search for areas where we have control. And it's really important that we understand what we actually have control of and what we don't. I have what we call my circle of control here. And this circle is excellent because in the green here, these are things we can control. In fact, these are kind of the only things we can control individually in our lives. Now, it's green because it means go here. Green, go, right? This yellow area, this means caution, don't go here. This can be a very anxiety-provoking space. So we need to be very careful that we stay in our circle of control, or we call it stay in your hula hoop. Because if you start spanning out of your hula hoop, you're going to find yourself getting provoked with a lot of anxiety, maybe depression, overwhelm, emotions that just aren't going to be helpful, and they aren't going to change anything because it's outside of your control. So let's look at things that are within our control. Some things that are within our control: my words, my actions, my ideas, my play, my efforts, my motivation, my behavior. Those are things I can control. Each of us have full control over those things. Now, things that are outside our control, and unfortunately we spend a large amount of our time out here, are other people's mistakes, other people's feelings, other people's ideas, other people's behavior, other people's play, other people's words, and other people's actions. These are outside of our control. And if you look at what we're facing in the social climate and the opinions toward law enforcement at this time, they are other people's. They are outside of our control. So there are ways we can kind of, assume false control, like we have some false impact on this, and that is maybe posting aggressive verbiage on social media in different ways, or being angry. We talked about anger a few meetings ago. There's different things that make us feel a sense of control, but really, in order to kind of stay in our hula hoop and keep ourselves calm and grounded, we need to really decide, I'm being impacted by this thought or by this person or by this action. How do I want to respond to it? Because the only control we have is in our response to those things, okay? And we want to have intentional responses. We don't want to be erratic in our response. We don't want to be impulsive in our response, because often if we do that, we say or do things that we regret later. And often, sometimes they'll validate the thoughts of others if we are aggressive in our response.
Hi everyone, Tracy here. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more videos on the Behind the Badge Foundation Law Enforcement Family Network Flashlight series. You can also learn more about Behind the Badge Foundation on our website, Facebook, and Instagram pages at behindthebadgefoundation.org. Thank you for joining us and finding our together.